Today we're 100% speedrunning That's Not My Neighbor by getting all 23 achievements in the game. Now our speedrun starts in arcade mode where we'll be going for an S rank. This means we have to detain every doppelganger and let every real person go through without any mistakes. To do this, I like to run through a quick checklist in my head to see if they're on the list, if their ID and entry request information is correct, and if their appearance is right. Then if all that stuff looks good, we can send them to their apartment. Sometimes the doppelgangers have really obvious tells like their whole face being messed up, and other times it's something as simple as their mole being on the wrong side of their face, so for this speedrun it's super important to pay attention the whole time. For this first run, I also got good starting luck here and got the clown who gives us the achievement Unlikely and a strange piece of paper, followed by Chester, a man who quizzes us about a bunch of random stuff. Thankfully, we have Google though, so the questions are as easy as typing in 42, Psychrolodies Marketus, chess boxing, 38, Uranus, and pirates, which gives us a nice medal and the achievement, the best in class. Then finishing the run gave us the I'm Alive achievement for finishing a playthrough alive, and the Better Than Henry achievement for getting an S rank, so pretty good start. But for our next run, we're going for the complete opposite of an S rank, the F rank. For this, we need to let every doppelganger go through and detain every real person. So it's about the same difficulty as getting an S rank, I just need to play in reverse. And some of these doppelgangers made this really easy. Like, dude, you forgot to put your nose on. Who are you trying to fool? I say as I let him through. Yeah, this achievement is fun to go for. Then, at the end of the day, we'll get killed by the doppelgangers we let through, and we receive the achievements Work Accident for killing a neighbor, which happens when you detain a real person, Doppelganger Food for being murdered, and Worse Than Henry for getting an F rank. So that's the two difficult arcade mode achievements out of the way, but before we go on to nightmare mode, I decided to grind out some easier stuff. Like for our next playthrough, we detained every single person who came to our desk, regardless of if they were a doppelganger or not. This gave us the achievement Steal Memory for surviving without opening any folders, which to be fair is pretty easy when you send a bunch of innocent people to their deaths. But I wasn't done murdering, because this was going to be our strategy for the next little while for two reasons. First, there were a bunch more special characters we need to meet for achievements, and secondly, by the end of the speedrun, we need to survive 40 playthroughs for the quarantine achievement, and this is a pretty efficient way of doing that. I got this strategy from a YouTuber named Lumerix, who made a video 100%ing the arcade mode, so go check them out if you want more horror stuff. So for the next hour, I stuck to the plan and got Catch You, where you question a doppelganger and then catch them red-handed, which makes them say some random lore stuff and how they're gonna kill you or something. Then I got the achievement Open Mind, where this dude shows up. Yeah, I don't really know what his deal is. And eventually Peaches, when the Peach doppelganger shows up, and I mean, who doesn't love this guy? At this point, I had 13 wins so far, and since I had every arcade mode specific achievement done, it was time for the really fun part, Nightmare mode. This mode is much harder than arcade mode, and we started out with the warm welcome of Evil Chester. Here we get another quiz, and this time the answers are Fox, the Roman numeral for 3888, Wojtek, Zul'Gurub, SCP-038, and 45,360. This gives us the Nightmare Mode Chester medal and the achievement Prodigious Mind. Then we were on to actually playing the game, and as you can see, the residents are a little bit different. They're now all demons, I think, and there's way more things we need to check out to make sure they aren't a doppelganger. First, I like looking at their ID and making sure they have the correct ID number, name, and that the D.D.D logo on the ID is correct. Then I do the same for their entry requests before checking them out really hard. Some of the residents have as little as 2 possible doppelganger changes to their appearance, and some have upwards of 8. So I go through an internal checklist of each one before deciding if they go through or not. This is especially important because if we let a doppelganger through, they'll kill us right away instead of waiting till the end of the day. And if we detain 2 innocent people in this mode, we'll also lose. For our first incorrect detainee, this weird face thing grows on the wall, but that's usually not too much of a problem since we get another chance. But here's where something weird happened. See, I got the hooded person who shares some secrets of the D.D.D and gives the achievement Open Your Eyes, but then I got some sort of glitch because before they left, the next person walked up and they overlapped each other. Then I got more people coming in, null messages, and yeah, I'm not really sure. But because of this, I ended up detaining the wrong person, which made the face come out to jump scare us, and gave the achievement Headache. So not the worst thing that could have happened, since at least I got a few achievements, but yeah, that was weird. Either way, we're back into nightmare mode, and this time I made it all the way to the end where a clown shows up. The clown then asks us to play a game where the rules are pretty simple. Basically, you switch back and forth between putting cards down. You can only play a card greater than or equal to the last one put down, or a wild card which can always be played. And wild cards are face cards, aces, or jokers. Then any card can be put down after a wild card, and if you don't have a card you can play, you need to draw another. So in this game, it's super important to be strategic, so we run out of cards before the clown does. We need to beat him 2 times, and with just a little bit of good playing, I was able to take him down, which didn't make him the most pleased in the world, but we officially beat nightmare mode for the first time and got the achievement Wake Up. Now from here, I needed to meet the 3 VIP characters in nightmare mode and the mask ghost. So my thought process was I would just keep winning the nightmare mode games, that way I could work up on getting to 40 wins while waiting for the mask ghost to appear. When a VIP is in the game, you see them on your list straight from the beginning of a run. Then once they show up, you just need to let them through like we did here for the nurse, giving us the In My Restless Dreams achievement. So if you're going for any VIP achievements specifically, you can just reset your run until you see them on the list and play until they show up. But you don't have any way of knowing when the mask ghost will show up, so I thought my best chance was to keep beating nightmare mode until they finally did. Now this line of thinking I would soon find out was flawed, but I'll go into that later. This was our strategy. And from here, I spent hours playing more nightmare mode, and honestly, I was getting really good at it. Since there are only so many residents, I started to memorize their doppelganger tells and could sometimes detain them without even checking their picture. Like with Abdusius here, he has too few stitches between his eyes, so I sent him away immediately. I guess that's what playing this game for multiple hours straight would do to you. Anyways, I soon got 42 as a VIP for the Share the Secret achievement, Peaches as a VIP for the Peaching achievement, and finally, more than 6 hours in, I got the Mask Ghost, which gives us the Boo achievement. We did it, that's all of nightmare mode done, and I was exhausted. Oh, also at some point during this time, I ended up getting the Hunter achievement for capturing 100 doppelgangers. Not exactly sure when that happened, but it was pretty inevitable with how much I played. So it was time to go back to arcade mode and spam the emergency button again to get some quick wins. I realized it took about 5 to 6 minutes to finish a day, and I slowly kept it up until we reached 40 survivals and got the quarantine achievement. Now all that was left was completing 100 playthroughs, and thankfully nightmare mode made that really easy. All I had to do to finish out the run was let everybody go to the apartments, and eventually one of them would kill us, ending that playthrough in less than a minute. But then here's where my sanity decided to die on me. Because you see, I could have saved a lot of time if I found the mask ghost a bit faster. While I did get really good at nightmare mode and could usually finish it in around 10 minutes, I could have gotten 2 wins in that same time with my arcade mode strategy. So tell me why during this last section of dying over and over again, I saw the mask ghost once, twice, 3 times, and probably even more since my brain kinda shut off at that point. I didn't realize it before, but the mask ghost pretty commonly shows up as your first resident, and I could have just gotten her here at the end of my run. So that was fun, but I'll be honest, I'm not redoing this run. I don't think my mental would let me. So I finally got the last 2 achievements, Employee of the Month for completing 100 playthroughs, and Collector for unlocking all achievements, with a time of 8:14:22. And hey, it's a world record since no one else has done the run before. So that's a victory, I guess. Alright, subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye.